I'm Zach Martin. This is Designing for Music. We have Spencer Drate along with us and Patrick Bamburak. Today's episode, it's special CD packaging. And we are going to run through about 20 different CD packages that have been designed, mostly, I think, by Spencer Drate and Judy Salavetz. We're going to take a little bit more time to enjoy the view, as they say.
So we'll start off on interview 9 of our series, and I'll start off with 4 packages that Judith and I designed. The rest of the packages have been with other designers, which we'll mention. The first one, the Beach Boys. Let me get it right. There we go. Which I worked with. Ronald Luxembourg called me up one day and said, "Do you want to design for the Beach Boys?" That's how it started, and we culminated a package in a couple of days only. Mike Love gave us the transparencies. Robert Lynn Nelson ecological paintings, which are beautiful. So I'll open up the package, and it's a multi-panel. So you got on the outside.
It kind of has that Asia feel, the coloring with it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's a very good point. And on the inside, you get a poster, you get their paintings with a disc with minimal type on it. And they're all Robert Lynn Nelson's work, which is beautiful. And this came in what they call the Echo Pack of that day, which was short-lived, right, Patrick and Zach?
Yeah,
But
they
go
used to
ahead.
have the boxes with the CDs and the plastics that were inside of it, and so they decided to get rid of the boxes, which everybody threw out, and which was really a waste, unfortunately. And they made this eco-friendly packaging that really resembled what you would get in a vinyl type of packaging, except made for the CD. This particular album is "A Summer in Paradise." Is this one of those projects that you started off by listening to the music before you got into the design?
Yeah, they gave us a cassette. Judith and I went to a hotel. The guys were there, Mike Love and everybody. They gave us a cassette. We listened to the music and just really flew off on. We knew the content of what the Beach Boys were into, so that made it easy from the beginning, historically. So it wasn't a great shake, and we knew that they were much better to give it a certain image. And that's why these photographs, which Mike loved and the band really loved, were really beautiful for this type feeling. So it was really easy, actually. Again, knowing the Beach Boys background, listening to their music, they don't really change into a drastic type of feel. So that made it easy. But I did listen to the music. It's not exactly, as you know, Zach, their very famous album. It's really not that type, but the packaging won a lot of design awards. Mike Love loved it. He'd take it around and show it when he was on tour. It was really nice, and it was very easy working with them. They loved our work. It was an easy one.
The sound of the Beach Boys at that time, would you say, is more comparable to what they did for, I think, Kokomo, that song Kokomo, which
Oh, I
was
see.
really in the late 80s
Yeah, it's
and
kind of like it's
big,
hard to
big ball?
describe. Yeah, but they have that. Yeah, you're right. They have this certain melodic thing going on, and changes, of course. I used to like Bruce Johnston. God only knows. That famous song,
Yeah, that's a
beautiful.
great song.
Yeah, the melodic line in there is in killer for me. Yeah, so they vary, but not really off, and they didn't get anything drastic. So if kind of like where the music went, yeah, I agree with you.
All right, let's go to
Yeah,
the
the next
second one. This is
package, the artist
Joseph
Joseph
Arthur
Arthur. This
and the
is
Lonely
letterpress,
Astronauts.
so you can really feel the cover. This folded out a painting that he did. Judith did a great job on designing this, and then the inside, you get a beautiful CD. You get his paintings all over the place. There is actually a booklet that comes in, and there's a lot of artwork on it.
Now, this was released in 2007. Can you tell us your basic impression when you heard the music before you got into the design of Joseph Arthur and the Lonely Astronauts?
Yeah, Joseph has been in my life for close to 20 years now, so I knew all his work literally before we even got into this. He's very, I call him alternative, type music, but his style of music. He has these great lyrics. His lyrics are unbelievable. He has a very big fan base that loves him. And a lot of people don't know who he is, believe it or not. And then the people who do, they go crazy over him. He has very good lyrics. He's a great artist, discovered, by the way, by Peter Gabriel. And Lou Reed loved him. Used to come down to the shows, Lou Reed. He was looked cool. Coldplay covered his music. Very famous people covered his music in music, musicians. So he had that whole format. This album is really a beautiful album. And he did it. He did a commercial CD, which is kind of not that great, but the letterpress version is gorgeous. You know, they had to do. He had to specially do artwork for it.
This
So,
is a special limited edition
yeah,
version of it.
yeah.
Let's Just Be is the title of it. When you were doing the design, and you talked just briefly about Judith's design, what specifically did she bring to it?
She, I think the way we floated it was, first of all, just like the Beach Boys, we're going to put the artwork on the panels. We're going to really overlay it in the booklet, you know, also. So you're going to get Joseph Arthur all over. And then we decided, which is a great idea, minimal type on the panel. You see a panel there with type on it.
Right.
Very minimal type, and that's it. So it's really the art that dominates. That was the big thing. The art is going to dominate this. And that's the concept, you know, fulfilling the concept of that.
So you'll get the art piece. In this case, you got it from Joseph Arthur. And you sit there and you look at it, you listen to the music, and then you and Judith go, you know what? Here's my idea of how we're going to present this in the CD package. That's basically.
Yeah, we went through different pieces of artwork. And I got to tell you, I was up at his loft, and I saw the bird art. This art, he had just finished of a bird, that bird cover. And I said, wow, that has got to be it. I could picture in my head folding it out like it would be front to back. It worked that way. So that's how it starts. The rest is just other pieces that we knew of his work and just fix it together. But it's a beautiful, simplistic piece, you know, I think. And the artwork just says what he is. That's Joseph was a great painter, artist. We repped him for a couple of years. We had shows with him. And you know who would follow him was Michael Stipe. A very big fan of his was Michael Stipe of REM.
Sure. I think, in fact, there are sleeves that we actually looked at that Michael Stipe and REM used by Joseph Arthur. Am I right?
I don't know about that. I know that Michael would show up at a lot of openings we had. I'd take pictures with me and Judith and him and Joseph. Yeah, he was a big fan. I mean, of Joseph, and of course Lou Reed too, and other major people. I mean, he's multi-talented artist, painter, musician.
Well,
so that yeah.
Also, it's on the Lonely Astronauts label.
Right.
And that's from 2007. Are they still around today? And do you still?
I believe so. That's his label, his iconic name of the label. I think they're still around. He started with Real World, Peter Gabriel. That's how his career started, with Real World. And then he went offshoot with his own label, you know.
Got it. That's good stuff. All right, let's go to artist number 3, which is the Velvet Underground.
Yeah, this is a colorform idea by Sylvia Reed. And Judith and I fulfilled it with her and just designed it all the way through with a Dayglow disc, the Dayglow banana disc, Dayglow yellow, yes. Dayglow blue.
I remember this one.
Yeah,
you
and
showed
then
me this before. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just want to get this straightened out here. And then
it's the Velvet Underground Live, and it's 19. I'm trying to figure out. See.
1993. Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of MCMXs, L's, IVs.
This is the booklet. And the whole idea was just, we converted a metallic banana, and you see the foil, very big. The foil concept comes from the factory. The factory had a lot of foil all over the bathroom and everything. So that's where this kicks in. And then the banana is a metallic banana, which on the poster, you really see it like a foil banana. And you'll see at the top, the type is in foil on top of type that we put together traditionally. and stripped in the velvet background and the banana. Ted Chin did the photography on this, and it's really a nice package, with the poster.
Yeah, it's a very nice package you got there. I want to know how you got the typesetting and you put it over the letters to make a very nice package.
Oh, that's a good question. Wow, we used to write about that. I went to a store that had the same typeface as we're using on the package, Adobe Garamond, and I took the letters that spelled out, the Velvet Underground. Then I pasted to a board. I was very good, as Judith always mentions, I was very good at lettering and making it look like a typeset. And I glued it on to a board, all the letters straight across. And then on top of that, push foil. And we did that with a banana for the poster, a clay banana we had made up. And then the foil went over that for the poster. But that's how we did it. That was a good question, Zach, because we did articles on that, how we composed it. It was so unusual. And, if this went into computer, forget about it, the time on this. So traditionally, it works out much faster to do a concept like this. That's the other important point. So it turned out really cool. And then Ted Chin did the photography. And, it's hard to shoot foil, letters on foil. So the lighting, reflects. And that's the only part of it that's photoshopped out, but it's minimal. So basically, it's part of a multi-package, the commercial CD. This was a limited CD, and then a beautiful poster that won an award, Billboard Award, Best Poster of the Year.
How did you get the color form to fit? And take us through that process, because I think, it's not just cardboard.
These are like, you're right. This is like a plastic peel-off. And the thing, AGI was the company. Well, they also did packaging. So they actually put this together. What really gets me, Zach, are the lineup of bananas. That's what really got me. I mean, these are separate bananas lined up, not a sheet. Separate bananas lined up, which is very different, very difficult. But look at it. It's a beautiful lineup. Yeah.
How did you did you use any sort of crossbar or anything like that to make sure that
I didn't do that? No, actually, they did it. They did. Actually, AGI put it together. I got the type. I did the type of these different lines, the Live and the Velvet Underground. That was sent to them. They put that on a sheet. The bananas they totally did themselves, right. from art. So it relates to the bananas on the disc, which was interesting because it's a Day-Glo disc. So it's like Day-Glo yellow, Day-Glo blue. That really pops up. Minimal type. So it's really an art piece. We approach it as an art piece, the disc.
Whose decision was it to use Roman numerals for 1993?
That's Sylvia's. Oh, that's Sylvia and Lou. I mean, that is really she decided that instead of 1993, she was going to do Roman numerals. That comes off of Lou and Sylvia. That's totally a Lou and Sylvia. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I mean,
can you imagine doing math, being in Roman times, having to do math with all those Roman numerals and
that album? I'm a huge Velvet Underground fan. So I got the double CD set, which has the blue cover. And then after I had gotten that, and I was playing this, my wife and I at the time lived in an apartment that I had all my music gear stuffed in or whatever, but I would be blasting out of the windows the Velvet Underground Live 1993. And back then, I went on eBay and I was buying every bootleg from the European tour. And then I started to see the single disc edition had the purplish velvet, right? So there was a different in the cover.
That's right.
And then I saw that one on eBay too, way back when, with the color form bananas on it. And I was like, I got to get that. I didn't buy it. But then, 15 years later, I meet Spencer Drate and Judith Salavetz, who designed it. So,
that's
but
funny.
I was a fan of that when it first came out. I love that
that's
album.
Interesting you brought that up because there are two sets. There's one with the purple velvet and there's one with the blue velvet. And that's a lot of people don't realize, but I'm glad you brought that up. That's a very good point about the design. That was in the commercial area. This is multi-package thing. We did a box set also, the Velvet Underground Peel Off, Peel Slowly and See box set for Polydor. That's a whole other number, you know.
I have that
set.
too. Yeah.
Yep. Good. All right.
All right.
I love it.
I'm glad that we got into the Velvet Underground. Now we got another one from Lou.
Lou. Okay, this is part
Magic
of the
and
Magic
Lost Metal Memorial Edition, right?
Yep,
And this is an actual metal cover.
It is, and
yes,
it comes with Dennis Asienzo was an additional designer with us, and he really did some great work. So he did the disc looking burned. It looks like a burned CD. People would call up and say, "What is going on here?" You know, it's like a burned CD. and then the booklet with the Louis Jamais photograph, which was on the album cover, is in the booklet. Beautiful photograph, and the type is Helvetica Light. I use the light typeface. You can't even see it here, but it's a beautifully minimal metal piece. Again, AGI manufactured it. It was printed in Germany first. Then the United States didn't want to do it. Sylvia called me and said that the United States didn't want to do it. It's too much money, but they didn't want to be embarrassed that Germany did it, so they had to do it. Thank God. And that's how this evolves. You know, this evolves. And this is pro only. In other words, it wasn't limited edition. It wasn't commercially sold. So that meant that when we couldn't enter the Grammys because you can't enter any pro only CDs in the Grammys. This would have been a knockout. I mean, I really think this would have been at least nominated. You know, I mean,
absolutely. But to mass produce that would be just insane. The pro version went to radio stations.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, exactly.
You know, and disc jockeys who don't make a lot of money probably took the CD, recorded it somehow, took that cover, went to the local scrapyard and said, "How much will you give me for this? I need to eat a hot dog quickly."
Yeah, I love it.
Just kidding around. But
well,
that's why some of us got into radio. We knew that we would get free stuff like that, the pro versions, the promo versions.
And it's a joint project. It's me, Judith, and again, Sylvia Reed, and Dennis Asienzo did additional design on this. We did a great job. So, and of course, dedicated to Doc Pumis, very important, this album. It meant a lot to Lou. It meant a lot to Lou, this album, because of Doc Pumis.
And what are some of the tracks in that particular CD?
Wow.
Because you've brought over your stuff in the past to my studio, and we would sit and look at stuff and listen to music, and I don't remember all the tracks in that particular one.
Let's see.
And just for those who are listening or watching, Dennis Asienzo was also part of the development of the 1993 album that we saw before this one.
So you got Cuts, Goodbye Mass, Cremation. I don't know. I mean,
yeah. I think that one of the singles was "What's Good."
Yes,
is that on there?
Actually, did a special edition single that was sent out metallic with metallic on it. It was beautiful, actually.
All right, let's go to
because that record's like an elegy, so it's a lot of centered on life, death, and loss.
You're right, and it has alchemy symbols that Judith and Sylvia worked on that goes with each song, which is very interesting. And Louis Jamais photograph, which is gorgeous on the front cover, photo of Lou in Paris taken. It's a beautiful package, you know.
I like that package. It's a very nice package, and the color form, or whatever they call that before.
Yeah. So let's
move on to Scenic.
Now we're moving on to other designers. So I have to show this. This is another Joseph Arthur package on Joseph Arthur called Savage. And this was given, you get it in a plastic see-through. And then this was nominated for a Grammy. I'll tell you why. If you see this, it's beautiful. It's got like, I don't know how I can do this. How am I doing this?
I remember this. Yeah. You jogged my memory. This is Joseph Arthur, and the title is Vacancy. It's the commercial edition.
Yeah,
what you have is almost the paint drips and creates a grid on the one side that you're showing us. Yeah, that's
And
basically. I
then
do
and
remember
then
the album
this
cover.
is the inside, which is very nice. The inside.
Oh, and by the way, it's more metallic. It's not a matte. It's not a
Right.
matte color. It's a metallic color. You just can't see it properly through the lens. Which is
Yeah, you
very
get
interesting.
the disc is nice too. The disc is artwork.
Yep.
So this is really a beautiful package. I had to show this because it was up for a Grammy Award. It had, like you said, metallic and gold, actually gold and silver metallic. You know.
And the artwork itself is by Joseph Arthur. In
Yes.
case
So
you
Joseph. Yeah, exactly. Artwork by Joseph Arthur,
and
and
the
the
design is
credit.
Zachary Larner.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Got it.
Okay. So this is really cool because on the design it says bomb shelter Joseph Arthur, and this is before Joseph Arthur actually has his own label. So it's on the undercover label in 1999. One of the
Hmm.
funny things, and Patrick has heard me do this, I always say that I'm broadcasting from the Rock and Roll Bomb Shelter, located 40 feet beneath the radio station, surrounded by radioactive biscuits and box water. We got our two turntables and a microphone, our 8-track players, cassettes, and CD players, plus the reel-to-reel machine, Studer 1 and Studer number 2. That's what we have here next to the rock
Studer number
pod.
2.
Studer
All
number
right.
2. Yeah.
So the next package is from our friend Bruce Leisher, who we've been talking about, letterpress, who called Scenic. He varies his CD letterpress printing from using computer and also traditional. So this one, I think, is more traditional, and it comes in like a pouch. If you open it up, you get like a
Yeah. Like almost like an envelope. It looks like.
yeah. And look at the design. I mean, his work is like incredible design,
All right.
typography.
This is really interesting, Spencer, because we're talking 1995 when people are just starting to get more comfortable with computers.
Right.
They're moving off of Patrick. What was the service that everybody used before AOL? Prodigy. They're moving.
Oh,
They're
Prodigy.
moving for Prodigy. They're getting their AOL in the mail. 1,000
Yeah.
hours. Yeah.
And I like the format. It's sort of as a slip-in package. You know, you kind of open this up and let it ride. You know, I like the package also that he formulated for the CD. You know,
Yeah, it's
that's
interesting.
a good thing too. So it's kind of like you don't go through elaborate stuff. You go simple board and da da da.
And the typography is very simple as well.
Yep. He's a great crafted graphic designer. So he really knows typography, and that's a plus. I mean, so it makes everything he does like showpiece.
Yeah.
I discovered his work being a Grammy judge in the '80s. That's when he told me he started in the late '80s. That's where I first saw his work. I said, "Oh my God, what is this guy? Where's he? He's really he's a great designer."
The artist is scenic again. Incident at SEMA. I'd like you to put it back up to the camera so we could just appreciate the typography, which is simple yet done very well. And I like that. In the background, you got looks like the Malibu. I don't know. Uh, that's nice. I
Yeah,
really like something about that typography in the middle. Just the way it's put
yeah,
there
yeah.
is very interesting to me.
It is.
All right, let's
So
move
this
on to the next one.
next one is interesting too. This is a holographic kind of thing. This
Oh
is
wow,
David
look at
Byrne.
that. On the camera here, it looks like his eyes are opening and closing, almost like
Yeah,
that 3D
exactly.
effect.
See,
Yeah. Oh
and
wow, that's cool.
yeah. So this is designed by Stephen Doyle Associates. Stephen Doyle is a great designer, and I
This
like
is
the
from
disc. Love the disc.
2001. Look into the eyeball. Does it say on the back of it, besides the year, any uh, indication of when it was released?
I have it here on a list.
It just says
2000,
2001.
2001,
Yeah.
2001.
This is what I'm saying. There were later on in that year, there were a series of CDs and releases that just did not get any attention because of what was going on.
So look at the song stack, Zach.
This is the same album.
Yeah. The revolution, the great
You know,
intoxication.
I like that how he does the staggers it and then
Yeah.
has different colors.
Hmm.
You know, Spencer, is there something you would have done differently with the design of that album?
Um, you know what? The concept I never would have thought of. Tell you the truth, I mean, I would come up in a different. Judith and I would probably come up in a different direction. It's a great concept. That's the first thing that grabbed me on this. But all designers are different, and we're all going to have different ways of approaching it. Can't describe it because I don't know what I do with this now. I can't answer that in 2 seconds. But we would have probably had another outlook. Hopefully, as visionary, but we would have had a different approach to it, maybe. But this is an approach that some designer did that's outstanding. I thought.
Yeah, it definitely, the cover that goes over the CD is really
Hmm.
fascinating, and the effect it has on the eyes. I don't know how anybody thinks like that. They must, maybe they were playing around with one of those 3D things when how you change the direction, you get a different look. Let's
Well,
go
you
to
know
the
what the
next
other,
one.
I'll tell you, Zach, the answer to that is very simple. If you know the technology going on with different types of surfaces and things you can use like holography or whatever, you'll tend to know about something like this. Like Stephen Doyle obviously knew about production and about tech area and graphics. So I think he knew about you could do a plastic cover in that type of way and put it over this. So it's really having the knowledge and knowing the access to different visual things on surfaces. If I can answer your question,
No,
he
it does.
obviously,
Yeah, it
yeah,
makes sense.
yeah.
Let's go to Corn. See you on the other
Well, this is
side.
my friend Sean Masher
2005.
Smith. Hello, Sean. He packaged for a Virgin in the USA. This is some incredible stuff for Iggy Pop. Group called Corn. And again, here we go. You take off the
Oh,
plastic.
wow.
And now what's really going to knock your eyes off is the
Knock your socks off.
illustration work is phenomenal.
Wow,
Okay,
look at this
so
box. Wow, that is really cool.
yeah, and then but look at the illustration work. If I can get it all in. Look at the CD. So Richard Kirk was the illustrator, and it came with a booklet, and the booklet is very dark. It's going to be hard to see, but his illustrations go in there too. And good use of typography. Beautiful package, right? I mean,
it kind of reminds me of an album that Pink Floyd released. I don't know what year it was, but they had this packaging for Pulse.
Yeah.
And the Pulse was basically that type of color, right? And that thickness of the box that you got there, and it folded out. But what made it really interesting, and we'll have to get this for a future episode because you got to see this. It had a digital lead light, a little red light that you would get in those
Oh, really?
electrical kits as a
Okay.
kid, and it would blink all the time. And it looked like if you put it in your car, it looked like your car had a car alarm. So I would
Oh,
keep
wow.
that so nobody would mess up my car. It would blink all the time. It would pulse. I just as soon as I saw that Corn, I automatically thought of the Pulse CD from.
And also look at the illustration work by Richard Kirk. I mean, this guy is outrageous. I mean, we're talking about a major illustrator here. I mean, it's just, it's like this is where it's all at. I mean, if you can do, it's just this is a total beautiful package.
Spencer,
hey, look at this, guys. Wait a minute, look at this. It folds out. It's a pop-up.
There you go.
It's a pop-up. That's really cool,
I yield my time to the gentleman from Scotch Plains.
Patrick.
So when from a design and then the manufacturing perspective,
right,
that has that fold out, it has the CD trays next to each other. So describe a little bit about the idea of what are the technical solutions that a designer has to come up with that has to be incorporated into this vision so that it can be made without breaking.
Well, yeah, I don't know what Sean went through. He was the art director and designer, and Richard Kirk was the illustrator. I'm sure it's a combination of things going on here. But, this is what's important. I did an article on this. It was called Design and Dysfunction, meaning that designers design and they come up with these great concepts and then it falls apart in production, like the zipper on Sticky Fingers, like, I don't know, Madonna's sex book, the metal fell out, the spiral.
Or like the Pulse album I just told you about. That CD packaging had a
Yeah.
warning about the batteries and it could explode. That
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is, you really, as a designer, you have to know what you're working with, and you want to know all these what we're talking about the last CD is you got to know the technical sides of what you can do. And I believe that pop-up was part of an idea, maybe, I don't know when, because you would have to ask Sean about that, was part of that vision. And they knew they could do it. They had the money, obviously, Virgin. So they were able to do an elaboration. So also, that's the other thing. The economy on the package has a lot to do with it, and how far they want to go. So that has a lot. Well, what can I do? Can I do a pop-up? Can I do a flat surface? Could I do it in 5 colors? Or, like we've gotten a situation where we've done 5 colors. We did an all metallic brochure. That's very rare. All metallic colors. I mean, that's difficult. We did that. And so you got to know what you got. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, where do I go with a budget? If you got a big budget, then you can create amazing things. You know that. But you also have to know how it works. You have to know how it plays. How does the disc set in okay? Even things like that. Does the disc set in okay in the package? When I open this thing up, will it not fall out of there? These are little things that you have to know about. Not all designers know about some of these things. That's what's crazy. But being a good designer like Sean, I mean, he did expert graphics, so he really knows. Actually, he's got a vinyl he just finished that we're going to show on Interview 10. I can't even tell you how great this package is. He just finished it, so Anyway, go ahead.
Before we move on, show us the corn packaging one more time. Let's get another look at it because it is really amazing. There you got the plastic cover, and it is a box that unfolds. It's got the pop-up. It's got the artwork of David Stoop.
Richard Kirk.
Yeah. See you on the other side, right? The artwork,
and then you got
the art direction is Sean Mosher Smith. Design artwork is David Stoop Arts.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's who we got here in the stat sheet.
Okay, that's it then. I'm sorry.
All right, well, that's okay.
But the illustration work is, isn't it, Zach, amazing, Patrick? I mean, the artwork.
Yeah, I really like it. Something too is one side is upside down and the other, they're two sides. So when you flip them.
And you got the plastic. You'll have on the plastic. You'll have the song stack on the back.
Oh, that's great. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Sean or Richard, whatever. Everybody together just did a great job on this.
Okay, let's move to the next one.
Next one was nominated for a Grammy, and it's designer is Tom Rashan, my friend Tom Rashan, Warner Brothers, REM, High Fidelity or Hi-Fi, I believe.
And so New Adventures in Hi-Fi, yeah.
Yeah, so you get this slipcase, and the booklet comes out, and wow, incredible it's visual size. You're going through a visual experience here. You're going through these pages of, great layout, pictures.
All right. What are the tracks on that?
Wow. It's going to be hard for me. I mean, I can't read this. Oh, hold on. Tracks are Now the West Was Won and Where It Got Us, The Makeup Bomb, New Test, Leper, Under Tom, Iban the Letter, Leave, Departure, Be Mine, whatever. It's a long list.
Yeah, I don't. I actually cannot say I remember any of those songs on the list. I do vaguely remember the packaging.
Yeah.
Again, here's the problem. You know, you get to 96 and you know, everybody is getting away from all the grunge. I mean, I'm
Hmm.
sorry, the hair bands. They're getting away from all the classic established ones, and they're into this whole, you know, new rock phase. They have the grunge and the various other bands. So REM gets lost in the shuffle, being regarded in radio as a dinosaur at the time, really, to the point where I remember Patrick Page and Plant being on tour around that time in the mid '90s, and
Yeah,
you couldn't get radio people to go see that. How about that?
that's incredible. Yeah,
Yeah, well, I mean,
yeah.
there was the attitude that these guys are dinosaurs. I don't want to waste my time with that. I'd rather go see Filter. I'd rather go see Bush. I'd rather go see some of the new guys.
Right.
And
But
great
look at the
photos.
image. Look at the inside design. I mean, this is very simplistic, very simple, but really nice graphics. I mean, it's really a lot of pictures, but really good graphics. You know, and that's what
You know,
makes a Grammy package.
I could tell you, you know, over the years, some of the REM albums that I bought were always just fun to look at,
Hmm.
right from the get go. Out of Athens, Georgia, right?
Yep, Athens, Georgia. That's right, man. And also, they had the. I got to tell you, I have some of their T-shirts. They made the best T-shirts with artwork ever, and the quality line, not cheap. They had a high quality line of shirts, so you got really
Wow.
beautiful shirts. I'd walk around with. They said, "Where'd you get that?" I mean, their marketing was amazing. You know,
Well, I think REM's fans and Pearl Jam fans are of the same ilk. You got
mm,
to give them extra. They really do appreciate it. And you know, at the time, I think REM always thought of their fans. Pearl Jam too.
right.
They do this.
They did. They're very personal. They
Now
really
let's
did.
go on to 10. I did
So
go to
this
New
week,
Jersey.
yeah, we're going
I
to
got to
go to
tell you the story.
Springsteen here. The
Right,
Rising.
The
This is
Rising.
designed by Christopher Stopchick and Dave Bett, my friend Dave Bett and Chris. The book is very interesting. Danny Clinch photographs.
Right, and you
And
got
look at
Michelle
the
Melvin.
graphics. I mean, you've got to dig the graphics here. I mean, the graphics are really outstanding.
All right, I'm going to ask you because I don't. I know the Rising is on it. What are some of the other songs that are on that particular one? It was released in
Lonesome Day,
2002.
Into the Fire,
Good. Okay. Good.
Waiting on a Sunny Day, Nothing Man,
Mhm.
Empty Sky, Worlds Apart, You're Missing, The Rising, and so on.
All right. So we played a few of those songs I remember playing on Q1043. Now this particular album uh, is for a Bruce Springsteen fan a must-have in your collection.
Mm.
It's got the lyrics to all the songs, right?
Yeah, and you know, I want to emphasize Danny Clinch photographs. I mean, these photographs, and he's
Oh,
one of the
y-
most famous
yeah.
photographers. Very good friend
You
of
know,
mine. He did a
you
lot
know
of work. Yeah.
the telephone poles. I want you to go back to the telephone poles. Now, this is a big deal for people in New Jersey, especially in the Monmouth County area. If you grew up in East Kingsburg, Asbury Park, you're very familiar with the telephone poles. And as a little kid, you would see the telephone pole workers put these spurs or whatever they were called on the side of their boots. And they'd climb up these poles, and every kid in the neighborhood wanted to do the same. There you go. Got some Bruce Springsteen notes there. I guess those are lyrics to
Yeah,
one of the songs.
handwritten notes, exactly. And I know it's a very like to me, Zach, it's more like a diary or a personal thing for fans, rather than
You know,
uh, yeah.
he's such an interesting artist, and you know, I think everybody. I grew up in Monmouth County, um, even though I was born in Ridgewood, and I think everybody has a story, especially the moms, about Bruce Springsteen. You know, all the moms would talk. What's Bruce up to these days?
Mm.
Local kid. You know, it's got a very. Do you think it's got a very New Jersey feel to the design?
Yeah, it's got a raw feel. First of all, what's important, the feel of his music, very raw. So it has that in the design, it has a very, to me, a raw feel, but very clean. So you get a mixture of really great graphics with typography, kind of mixed, but it's a raw feel, Zach. You know, that Springsteen kind of like you know what I mean? He's
Well,
got that cut.
recently somebody posted on Facebook the time where he was on the cover of Newsweek and Time magazine, 1975, at the same time. That's when Born to Run is released.
But you know, you brought up good points. See, this handwriting thing is very cool. What you brought up, I like that feel. You know what I mean? It's,
Yeah, look, it looks like he went to the drugstore to go get the book that he wrote on. Right? Is
yeah,
that cool?
yeah. It is. It is.
Let me ask you this, as an artist, and
Yeah.
as you try to, think about what you're going to do next, right? Do you ever get to the point where you go to the local drugstore, the Dwayne Reed or whatever's in your neighborhood, and you go in there for one thing, next thing you know, you're picking up some readers, and you're getting pens, and you're getting pads, and you're getting little note cards. Spencer, what kind of things go through your mind when you just do everyday things, and how you can utilize them for your artwork?
Let me put you. I'm a designer, so it's different. I'm not like drawing figures. I'm not getting to that area. I'm more of, by the way, a great photographer. I'm a very good photographer, but it's really just design. So I don't think about papers and pencils or things like that. I'm not doing it. I mean, but in design, you know, as I think we talked about before with Judith, we look around at things around us. We may pick up certain ideas, you know. We look at other designers as other designers look at our work. You know, there's always something going on you want to put in your head. I look at great books, for instance, that are designed, like Ray Gun was put out, or Blur, these famous magazine. These are great design magazines. You know, you get ideas from that. The Ray Gun book out on the whole series, Rizzoli, that big book out, gorgeous. I mean, you could look at that book and keep it in your library. And as a designer, there's so many ideas because all great designers were involved with that magazine, you know, designing it, you know. So we go to all sources around us. You know, you look at everything. You never know. It's funny, Zach, you never know what's conked up in your brain that you're going to bring out and say, whoa. You know, like Judith said, the D.D. King logo, she got an idea. We're sitting out for lunch. She looks at the restaurant letters and she gets an idea, you know. So in that way, as designers, we look around and feed off of things. And all designers do that, you know, they really do. So it's very exciting. I mean, I see so many packages judging, you know, like making vinyl or the Grammy judging. Incredible stuff, you know. And then they take some of them home, you know, that I can take. And they're like collectibles. They're kind of like great design in a sense. Yeah, I'm showing you some of these pieces. I mean, the next ones you're going to, where do you see this piece? The next piece is in.
My favorite so far, and we'll talk about this piece, is the Lou Reed made out of metal. I mean,
yeah, that's great. But look at this. Wait a minute. Look at this Verve.
Oh, here we go. Oh,
look at this piece. This is incredible. I mean, this is Julio Turturro. I mean, I think
that's beautiful. Again, it's got that spindle type of, I guess, booking. It's interesting because there's like two spindles on it. I guess.
Yeah, it's got a spiral. It's a spiral put together in a spiral format. But look at I mean, even the front. You know, you got this clear plastic, and then clear plastic, and then you open it up. You know, I mean, this is really thought out. I mean, continuity. Then you got a circle, right? And then you open up the circle, and then you get that. You see, it goes all along. It's like a whole.
Yeah.
And then there's another layer. You know, there's another layer, and then you go into. But all these pages have been die cut. You see, die cut pages. So this is really a great package. I mean, for me, I mean, this is one of the most outstanding packages.
Now, is that a limited edition?
This is a regular edition. Verve. But Verve was a great company in packaging. I mean, they had a lot of stuff entered in the Grammys, you know, and they had great designers.
So when you have a design like that, though, and so the question is, okay, here's the record stores that are going to shelve this or stock it. Is that part of the discussion with the label to say we need to create our own folding cardboard display unit to accommodate this design in the store? Are there battles that have to be fought over that?
I think there are. I don't, I don't get engrossed in that. I don't think we've ever had a problem with that ourselves. But, there are things that are put on the side. You could, when you go in the record store, Pat, you could go, you see the shelves in the back, which just like behind the table where things were, right? So some things couldn't be in a bin. They had to be in a special display, right? Maybe in a back shelf, somewhere, a lot of this stuff. I mean, this is an unusual format.
Yeah, it's really a one of a kind. It's Antonio Carlos Jobim, the man from
Yeah,
Italy.
yeah, and it's this was nominated for a Grammy too. I mean, it's got all kinds of stuff. A gorgeous design.
It really is kind of like when you look at as far as CD packaging goes, that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah,
with all the different parts of it and the information about the album.
So listen, so this is not finished yet. You go to the back, and then you get, look at this. You get these different color fold-out pieces. You see? So that's the back. So there's different things going on here with paper cutouts. See?
Where's the CD?
That's funny. It's funny. I don't have a CD here. The CD is encompassed here, but I'm not sure where. Hold it. It's somewhere here, but I don't have the CD in here. It's funny. I don't have the CD in here, to be honest with you. But great package. Great package.
Nice package. Yeah. Let's go to Muddy Waters, the Hoochie Coochie Man.
Yeah, so this is the standard book. A lot of books would come in like this in the Grammys, and so you hit with that, and then you open it up, and you get the CD in a pouch.
See, I like that.
That's cool. And then type, and then pictures with type. Muddy, and then
it's marked as a commercial edition. What does that mean?
It means that it was sold regularly. It wasn't limited. If I mark it commercial, it means it was sold commercially. It wasn't limited edition. Yeah, were nice photographs, right?
Yeah.
So it's simple.
I bet you what I like about it is it lets you see what Muddy Waters look like, because I would imagine that not too many people would know.
Yeah. Good point. Look at, and so many different photographs. So I mean, this is like, if you want to know Muddy Waters, this is Muddy Waters. It's really a nice little book.
It comes down to this. Tell us some of the titles that are on this album, because they might be more recognizable as covers. So are they Willie Dixon songs? Or
let's see. I Want to Be Loved. Can't read it hardly. Sugar something. Sugar Sweet. Trouble No More. Clouds in My Heart. All Aboard. Oh God, there's like 26 songs here, Zach. 26 songs here. It's too much. Good.
That's
good.
Cool. That's nice. That's like a box set on a single.
Yeah.
Is it a single CD, or is it more than one CD?
It's a single CD, believe it or not. Yeah, it's a single
that's a lot
CD.
of cuts to get on. That's a lot of cuts to get on one CD.
So they must. Yeah. So that's, and now I've got another book. So this is the book form. A black, totally black book, and then you get embossed art, and then you get the pocket with one CD.
Now, which artist is this?
AFI, they're called AFI. Now, what's interesting, the graphics. You see the book, the graphics in the book. Cutting edge graphics. You see.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's like all over the place. I mean, it's like.
The group is AFI, and the design is by Jason Noto and Doug Cunningham. The icon illustrations, Alan Phobes, Matthew Welsh photos. The record label's SKG Music LLC, Nitro Records.
Yeah.
AFI. I mean, that is like a fang cobra or something like that, or a snake of some type. I can see.
Yeah. No. It's a very
And
tasteful
it's,
type of book with really cool graphics in it. It's kind of like a mix here.
I really like that.
Yeah, it's
Now let me
like.
ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you this question: what would you say? Like, what was the retail price for something like that? The past two are like really phenomenal.
I'll
The
be
past
honest with you,
three.
I have no idea what the price of that is. I didn't go out and buy it. I'd be honest with you. I have to be honest. I have
Well, it
no
was released
idea.
in 2003. It's just interesting to me because those look like very costly to make.
Oh
And
yeah, you're right, Patrick. I mean, Zach, you're absolutely right. They cost money to do that. Exactly. You know.
so when you design these things, as your experience, do they give you a general budget and tell
Oh
you
yeah.
like any? Yeah.
Definitely up front. There's a budget, and that's where you work from for everything: visuality, your contract. Now they'll also tell me, or Judith, me and Judith will tell us how much we can do for the packaging. You know what I mean? There'll be a thing like that. We'll know. Um, it's like if you design for Led Zeppelin, you had a big budget automatically. So it's kind of like you get an idea what you have and what you could produce. You come up with an idea. That's the other thing. If you come up with a really good idea, they may go for it right away. It's according to your idea concept. What you're
Mhm.
thinking about. And if it's a really special idea, that's the big thing you're talking about. The record company may or not get into that, but they may. Which you find a lot of these things. They're small companies. They're not big. Some of these companies are small, and yet they laid out for this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. I mean, it's always ROI. Let's go to Ella Fitzgerald with Duke Ellington.
Well, this is really interesting. Okay, so you get a white box, and if you can see, there's a
Oh
hole in it.
wow.
You see that hole?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
now you get, first of all, I'll show you the book. So the book has got a hole in it, and you open it up, and you get.
Wow.
It's hard to
Cool.
see.
Oh, you get some handwritten stuff, and then you got some type.
Right, and then you get a lot of type, and then you
This
get.
is Côte d'Azur concerts. Um, I guess Ella Fitzgerald was with the Duke Ellington Orchestra and Duke Ellington at one point. This is from 1998.
Okay, look at the artwork. See, this is what we're going to get into the artwork.
Oh wow, that's really cool. The artwork,
So the
the
artwork,
design is
yeah.
by Chika Azuma.
Mm.
Package
So
design coordinated by Susan White.
yeah, so you see this? So the artwork's a big thing on this thing. I'll tell you why, where it carries over after I show you this, because a lot of type, a lot of good graphics, type with good graphics. Very small type, by the way. I mean, nothing. Artwork.
Well, there's a lot. There's a lot going into this, Spencer, because you got a team of people that are put together here. I'm just going to go down the list as you show that. You have the art design director was Chika Azuma. Package design coordinated by Suzanne White. Photos, Jean-Pierre Lelore. Theory Trombert. Illustrations by Lupa Lukova.
Right.
Um, it's like a lineup for a hockey team. You got
Yeah, I know.
you
And
know
then wait a minute. Let's go further. This is the CD package you get with it. So you get. Let's go through one of them. It's a pink. You open it up. You got artwork on the outside of the plastic. So you get this thing open. Okay. You get art on the outside of the plastic. And
Oh
then
wow.
look you get art on the CD. Now every CD is different and a different color, I mean, this thing is really thought out. I mean, it's like unbelievable.
I wonder how they came up with the different colors that they choose for the plastic coverings of each CD. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's the designer. I don't think there's any big play in that. I'll tell you the truth. I'll be honest with you. There's nothing really intellectual about it. It's just they decided doing different colors. They picked out certain colors they thought were really good. They wanted to really point up also the illustration area. You know what I mean? So if you see the book illustration as opposed to the CD illustration, I think they want to complement those colors, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
So they
Yeah.
picked out certain colors and they just, so you got.
It's really one of the nicest CD sets I've seen.
Yeah,
I bet
and
you that
so
cost a pretty penny too.
exactly. And again, here we go again. I think it's what company?
Oh, Verve
Verve,
Records.
Verve. You see,
Yeah.
so Verve would lay out. You see, this is how you got it like that. So, but
Oh, that's nice.
companies as we're talking about, like Verve, always when I judge the Grammys, Verve would come in with some incredible stuff. I mean, really, and that's where they were. That's why I like to show this stuff because, like the next one, look at this one.
All right, this we got Miles Davis and Gil Evans, the complete Columbia studio recordings. It's a
Now,
photo
I
CD
believe
set.
this won a Grammy. This package won a Grammy. See, it's
Well, I'm not
gold.
surprised.
You
You
got
got
gold
back
medal.
involved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you got Chica back in this one again.
Yeah,
Chica's
you got
involved in that
gold
last one.
medal. Look at the gold medal. Okay, so then you open it up, and boom, you get the book, and you get all kinds of things in this book. You get
Well, I can tell you why they went with that medal because it just reminds you of his trumpet.
yeah.
Wow, look at that.
So there's a lot of this imagery that's outrageous. I mean, it's just is like really crazy stuff. And then the text on the other side, I mean, it's a gorgeous book. AGI, I think, put this together too. I think AGI, and look at the album covers. You know what I mean? It's like a whole.
Oh wow.
Yeah, isn't that
It's
great? So I mean,
Sony Music Entertainment.
yeah, this is really cool.
Well, look at that. Look at that. That looks like an older Miles Davis album cover.
Yeah,
Did they
you're
put
right.
some older album covers in the?
You know what? It's interesting because it has the Columbia logo at the top. You're right, Zach. And then I think that's the big stuff, and then the type is all over the place.
See, that's really interesting to me. They take these album covers of bygone eras and they put it into the new CD set so that you can sit there and listen to your Miles Davis, Gil Evans, and just enjoy it. Read
Now,
along.
the other thing that goes along in the graphics, which I got to tell you about, each one of these album covers is the sleeve for the disc. So whatever album cover is being
Oh
shown in the
wow,
layout,
wow,
the
yeah.
disc goes in. It makes sense. You see, it's got a point there, But this is these guys, these types of box sets are really,
That's
really
outrageous.
beautiful. And so the next one, I've got to show you. So it floated to. Look at the next one. So the next one, same thing. The metal, and we got who do we got here? We got
It's Miles Davis again.
yeah, we got Miles Davis. We got look at that. You got a die cut front board cover, and you open up the board, and you'll have a transparent paper, and then you get a great photograph of Miles. Right.
Look at that.
And again, you'll get these pockets with the CDs in them and great graphics. You see, you'll get these pockets with,
And I want you
look
to
at
think about this.
now. Look at the end, Zach. Look at the end. Let me just talk about the graphics. Let me just talk about. Look at the end.
Yeah.
You see, you got a diamond shape with different blacks. They thought of everything. I mean, this one goes in and out, and then. So that's to give you an idea. I mean, all the graphic, beautiful. The lead into the discs are gorgeous.
And how many CDs are in that set?
Whoa, let's see. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
All right, so let's call it about 7 hours of music, right? Those are recordings from 1963 to 1964. That's how much. That's a lot of music for one man to record in a year, don't you think?
Yeah, and I'll tell you something. If you look in the box, It's actually type in the box. Now that's different.
Oh, interesting.
But they make sure to put the type on. That's who would do that? You know what I mean? Like nobody does that. I mean, this is what makes it. I mean, I don't even know if there's won a Grammy. I know one of them won a Grammy. Maybe both of them. They had to be nominated. I mean, it's really crazy. But those box sets are interesting. I think AGI manufactured them, and they're very. They did our metal box. They did our Velvet Underground peel off. I mean, AGI not only were great album cover designers, but also they were good manufacturers. You know what I'm saying? Special. And they farm it out. They use their name, but farm it out to some other people that would make it up, and their name would be used, AGI. But they did great stuff. You know?
Yeah, it's cool. I guess so what you're saying, it was like a white label sort of thing where you have somebody manufacture it for you, but you put your label on it.
Yeah, yeah. AGI would do that. They'd farm out. They'd say, who could create this box, put all the parts together. So they probably had different people that work with them, obviously. But the name AGI was stamped on it, just like you're saying. And also, they did they did Physical Graffiti, that album, designed it with Peter Corriston, and they did all this great. Yeah, that's why I mentioned it. And then, Whiskey Glass, Rod Stewart. I mean, they did the Telephone, Jay Giles. They do these different. AGI was a multifaceted company with incredible graphics and manufacturing.
We're going to go to Depeche Mode, and I'm going to hand this over to Patrick so that he can talk about it, because I don't know too many people know this, but one of their biggest fans. He never stops listening.
Okay, so let me go through this first, Pat, and then come in on this. Okay, so you got the box, you get da-da-da. By the way, designed by Martin Atkins, who was in our first Designing for Music book, which is a series is named after. And what he did is, you get the booklet, and it's very strong. You got like a very strong orange and black, and you got silver type, right? And you get all kinds of things in this one. And then you get simplistic, and then the cover. This is what's interesting: the covers of each CD. See the different visual. But I love it. Very simplistic, but really beautiful imagery.
That's the Japanese commercial CD.
Yeah, this is exactly, Zach. This is the Japanese commercial. You got, and then you get the booklet, the second booklet.
Wow, look at that.
So you got, look at the silver and the white and the orange, man. Beautiful stuff. Graphics. Martin Atkins is a great designer. So that's about what the crux of that package was. It was like 2 booklets, simple booklets, and imagery. I want to see what the...
It's Depeche Mode X1 is the name of the title.
Yeah, and then like look at the CD. It's really cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, they were really. I mean, this design is so cool. I mean, it's like, okay, 2. Look, he does it. He puts the 2 off the disc. Notice how he uses the 2. It's like a graphic piece. You see, he just doesn't put the whole 2 on it. He puts only part of it on it. See, these little things make great design.
Is it the idea of letting your brain figure out the rest?
Yeah, I mean, this is just design. I mean, who says to put the whole number in? Let me tell you, this is what makes typography beautiful. If you using type, we've done that. You put type and run it off the page. I mean, Ray Gun Magazine did a lot of that with type just literally running off the page and numbers running off. That's what this is. It's just a creative design process. That's all it is. There's no intellectual thing going on. It's graphics, total design. So some guys like Martin will see the numerology, the numbers, and say, well, I'm going to put part of the number. He loves part of the numbers. He wants to put that in with the rest of that's all it is. It's just putting it together as great design. So and the numbers, those numbers are in the booklet, see? So it kind of a continuity thing going on. But I love the fact he only has part of the numbers. That's what makes great graphics. It looks really cool,
It really does. Can you show us some of the other numbers? I'd like to see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Let's see. Oh, look at 4. You don't even get the whole 4.
That's cool. But you know what it is. See, that's interesting.
Exactly. Exactly. You'll know what it is. It's also in the booklet, the whole numbers. So it's kind of like a follow through. Let me see. Okay, so there we go. We got 4 here. And basically that's what we got. But
all right.
This package I mean, it's only in Japan, which is interesting. I don't know. I forgot how I got it, Zach, tell you the truth, but I was lucky to get it, you know.
Yeah, certainly. Hey, I'm all about the Japanese imports. I don't know what it is about the style and how they put things together in Japan, but I've always been a big fan.
Yeah, I got that, and the icon on. You see the icon on top
Yeah,
on the
which
bottom.
it's called mode X1. So you
Yeah.
have the X plus the one all in one symbol. That's
Yep.
really awesome.
Isn't that great? Yeah, it's really.
Yeah, I would have never thought of that.
Yeah, it's like this is what I mean when we were talking about it. It's like you see a package like this, and you'll say, "Whoa, that's really cool! What he did with the numbers," and then you put it in your head, and maybe you have some idea that may integrate putting part of the number into something. I mean, you don't know. I mean, I'm just saying this is where you look at as a designer. Why you look at other people's work. Now, this next package is a cigar box. This is more of a fun thing.
Oh man, that is the coolest box set I've ever seen. I love that.
You got the box. Then you got an illustration on top as you enter the box, and then you get a very, very booklet, which is more conservative design, more like a historic type booklet. Charlie Poole.
Yep. You ain't talking to me, Charlie.
Yep. Poole. So it's very conservative, but I love the idea that this came off of for this type of music. The cigar box, right? It's like that alone. I love that concept, and it's a very straightforward design, but I thought very nice, tasteful. Okay, and then in the box, you'll get these different packages with a CD in it.
Yeah.
So you get different.
And again, go back to that musical note that you pull on the CD, and it's not complete. The graphics run off the end.
Musical note.
Yeah, on the CD that you just showed us.
Let's see. I got this one.
Okay, just pull out the CD. See what it looks like.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just checking out the graphics, and you'll see that the note part of it it gets lost in the center. And by the way, the center makes it look like a record, like a 45 almost. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. This is very straightforward, more of a thing, but it has that historic old look to it because of the browns and the sepia tones, Zach. So it's more of
they give you the aged look.
Look at this. Look, I mean, this is get this picture straight.
Yeah,
it's a group picture,
and it gives you the story of the history of Charlie Poole.
Yeah,
that's good.
And
oh, look at that. So when you were a kid, Spencer, and you saw those cars lining up for the day that they took that picture, what did you think?
I said either Al Capone's coming into town or
Oh, man.
Capone, man. Capone. Okay, this is a classic.
All right, listen, this is great. Weird Tales of the Ramones. It's Hugh Brown is the designer.
Yeah,
and
my friend Hugh.
Say, you're probably an expert on this whole thing. So let's oh my gosh, that's awesome.
So yeah, I mean, look at the artwork. You go crazy. I mean, the artwork is incredible in this thing. I mean, it's just filled. You also got 3D, man. You got 3D. You got.
Did the 3D glasses come with the box?
Yeah, it actually came with the book. I have it somewhere. I actually have the 3D glasses. Then you got. Look at this cartoon stuff. All different cartoonists are involved, and I don't know. It's all over the place. It's great artwork, though. You know what I mean? It's just phenomenal artwork.
What inspired the idea to do the whole comic thing? You know the
Ramones. I'll tell you one thing. Working with Ramones, they do not come up with any ideas. The Ramones are totally they don't come up with anything. It's totally the designer, like me or whoever designed George DeBose. Whoever designed this stuff was all the designer. They have no input at all. So Hugh Brown, by the way, is a great designer. I've known him for years. He actually donated to my 45 books. There's a major collection of 45s. He is an outstanding designer. He was up for a Grammy Award. I believe he might have won one. So with no problem at all. I mean, there's a credit here for the design. Hold it. Hugh Brown. Ta-da! He probably came up with this idea and got all these things and then someone gets them all together, and then they package it and they design it,
I maybe you have an answer for this, but I notice on each side, if you turn it around, it's upside down. Why do they do that? One side's right. Oh, flip it just like that. I mean, I don't understand, but
yeah, that I don't. Yeah, tell you the truth, it looks like a mistake. It's like,
you know what? That's funny. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, this is like incredible. I mean, this is one of the greatest. And then, wait a minute, I better show the CDs. Okay, so you get, make sure they don't fall apart.
Oh, wow. Look at the pop-up Ramones, it looks like. And this is released in 2005.
Yeah, it's flat art on the left, the CDs on the right, but look at the way the CDs are put in. I love the way they're overlaid. I mean, that's production too.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
Right, Zach? So
well, I mean, it's a balancing act, like you said, because if you use them enough, you'll break a lot of things as well.
So this is the back. The back is Ramones,
cool.
right?
I like the back. It looks like the back of the comic book where you could buy that submarine, the Nautilus.
Yeah.
Remember that?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Like that.
So the whole package is just a cartoon. I mean, literally. I mean, it's like,
I have to get a hold of that one. I just like.
Yeah, now that's right. Now that would be Rhino.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Yeah,
now this was years ago.
They do a great job. It's 2005.
This is like
Rhino records and tapes. They're always good at the reissue
compilations, right?
Yeah, that's great. Weird Tales of the Ramones. That's a lot of fun. That's a nice one.
Now next one is a surprise. I just got this in the mail because Sire and Rhino put out the New York album in a CD set.
Oh my gosh! Look at that.
And
it's album size, but it's got all the CDs.
Now this is incredible. Okay, get this. It's got 2 vinyl, 3 CDs, 1 DVD, and you get an elaborate booklet. And I'm glad they got my name credit here. But look at this. I mean, I gotta. So as we go into the book, it's a really nice booklet, and it's and I'll show you something that's interesting. The liner, the original. See, what they did is the lyrics are just like I designed it, with the first letter of every line bold. And that's why that's how you could run in the lyrics. So you don't have to do it line for line. You could run in the lyrics. And Lou was into E.E. Cummings. And E.E. Cummings was a famous poet who sometimes capitalized the first letter of a line, and he got into that, and that's what became no one's ever designed lyrics like that. And it's so smart because that way you can run into each other, and it's easy to read.
In school, I liked the E. Cummings because there were no real grammatical rules with the punctuation, so that's how we would get out of. Well, you ended up getting hit by the sister when you go, well, I'm doing an E. Cummings style.
And the writing here is really amazing. Archival writings here, different people. And also David Frick adds some liner notes.
Wow, really? That's awesome.
Yeah, this is like, and he actually got me into getting this package. He helped me get the package. So, but it's a really nice package. I mean, I think it's a really, oh, wait a minute. Let me show you the most important thing is the discs.
Wow. And that's on a separate page, and then you have the vinyl that's also with
Vinyls
it, right?
are in pocket. It's in a pocket. I want to take it out, but they're just regular
No,
vinyl.
you don't have to take it out.
You could take two vinyl, but you get two vinyl, Zach. Two vinyl. So you get two vinyl. So a pretty monstrous package, right? It's a big thing in the New York album, man. I mean,
Yeah,
I was so happy to be part of this, in sense, because of historic matter, you know.
Very interesting. Go back to the cover, because I know we've talked about this in other episodes.
Oh,
But
Waring Abbott did the photograph. I better give him credit. Waring Abbott did the photograph, and I designed it with Judith and Sylvia Reed. That's how the cover goes.
I like the magic marker that you're using on the front, right? Is that what you got going
Magic
there?
marker.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you tell me.
That's type. I
Like,
mean, New York is a typeface that looks like it's written, and I surprinted that onto the cover in a lighter color, not black, but a lighter color, so it looks like it's in the wall. You see,
right?
so
Like graffiti,
that's a big
right?
thing. Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's in type. Actually, it's a type. It's actually a typeface. Believe it or not, it's not even written out.
You could have fooled me. It looks like it's written out. That's
That's good. That's good. I'm glad that happens, because that's the essence of the feeling of it, you know. And like I said, the type at the top, I didn't want. Most people, I'll tell you, most people would just do a solid typeface. No. I did an outline face, so the background comes through, and it kind of lightens it up, a little bit. So it's big, but it's not like in your face, like really in your face, that's a big thing. It helps with the design of the cover, so the photograph really pops out. You know what I mean? The photograph,
and the photo is all different pictures of Lou.
yeah, that's all stripped together in computer. Waring Abbott shot him in different ways, and that's how it is.
Well, we got to mention Rory Wilson.
Yes, Rory Wilson we did the cover, but Rory Wilson really designed the package of this reissue, the reissue package. So she did the booklet, you know what I'm saying? And we did the cover, the album cover. But she designed the whole package, which is quite amazing. I thought she did a great job with this, Zach?
This album is so important to the history of rock and roll, and it pays homage to the work of Lou Reed. It's really important to spend, I think. It deserves its own episode, really.
Well, yeah, I mean, Seymour Stein, the big thing is Seymour Stein signed Lou at this time. His whole career changed 180 degrees. And this album became, a Dirty Boulevard on it. Dirty Boulevard on it.
Dirty Boulevard, which is always my favorite song to play on the radio.
Yeah, me too. I love that, right?
Yeah.
The other thing, I want to tell you about the approach to the album, which they carry through, by the way, is because of our cover, the graphics is carried through with our color, by the way, if you go through it, of the cover that we designed, was that I worked with Lou. Was not, to me, Technicolor. Okay, I'm going to go right where this is. He was like black and white to me. It's kind of like his whole imagery, everything, the darkness of him. So with this, we put a touch of green in it, if you notice, and it just makes it very incredible. And what they did was, in the booklet, the designer carried through those colors and the feeling that I gave, we gave in the album cover. That's very important. It has to do with the graphics of the whole package. So that's interesting too. I didn't expect that. You think it'd be totally different way they packaged it. Well, they went with the tone and feeling of the cover and carried that through in the reissue package, which I think is amazing.
Amazing. And thank you very much. We wrapped it up. We went through 20 great designs, CD designs that were just blow your mind, man. Thank you very much, Spencer, for putting this all together and getting the background information. Thank you, Patrick Bamburak, for always working the switcher. And I'd like to thank
and remember, we're going into interview 10, the last of the series, next time on more album covers.